afternoon. My name is Emily Corson, and I stand before you as a representative for Piedmont College, located in North Georgia. The original title, as you stated, it's just changed a little due to findings throughout my study. I'm a sociology major with an anthropology minor. I am expected to graduate in the summer, so I'm very excited about that. My parents often ask me what I'm going to do with my sociology degree, and I often ask myself the same question. I'm very passionate about the promotion of gender equality and would love to work with an organization that educates society about negative stereotypes through various forms of media. And that is what has heavily influenced my research today, and I'm excited to share my findings. So throughout recent years, the discussion around women's advancements in sports has increased, but there has been very little research pertaining to the evolution of the male's role in athletics. Although historically, sports have been associated with masculine traits and characteristics, male athletes are still subjected to negative stereotypes and experiences. This may be attributed to the pressures that Western society places on our young boys and men to resemble this macho man culture surrounding masculinity and the deviance that is attributed to males who participate in feminine sports. It's through my research that I explore athletes' responses to how limiting stereotypes can affect athletes personally and investigate if there's an evidence to change gender norms in sports. So by age 2, children start to engage in the socialization process. Pressures arise to resemble the ultimate hegemonic figure, which is typically a white, middle-class, heterosexual man in society. Sports become gendered through feminine and masculine characteristics, such as physical strength, aggression, aesthetic behavior. Typical feminine sports include dance, ballet, tennis, while traditional masculine sports include football, boxing, rugby, things like that. So a common theme in Western society among males is to often associate displays of affection or behaviors of femininity with homosexuality. Because of this negative stigma associated with this behavior, it limits the type of contact between males as well. So why is this such a problem? Men commonly report feeling restricted to certain emotions that include anger and rage, as well as feeling pressure to conform to society's standards of masculinity. This may explain why men make up 77.9% of all suicides and often go undiagnosed for mental illness as well. The constant need to assign gendered expectations to males can not only affect sports participation, but also cause psychological damage as well. So for my research, I use a qualitative methodology just to allow me to explore the experiences that males have at a deeper level. The analysis was conducted off of 14 face-to-face interviews from college athletes in an NCAA-affiliated college. The sample population consisted of 11 male athletes and 3 female athletes, all ranging in age from 19 to 22, and interviews lasted between 6 to 22 minutes. Findings were recorded through 2 different recording devices, and Excel and Word were the main software products used for content analysis and transcription. True random selection was difficult just due to lack of response rate from certain participants. However, they were assured complete privacy throughout the study and felt confident their responses would remain anonymous. So 2 major themes arose during my research. These were based on only male athletes' responses in the percentage table. Participants were seen to be very critical of stereotypes, but also still partaking in gender policing. The types of responses that led to the first theme had to do with a suggestion and interest in sports that they had previously labeled gender neutral in the study, a frustration in how stereotypes limit personal experience, and how participation was based on gender representation. The types of responses that led to the second theme were the use of humor as a policing tool and an association between sport and sexual orientation. Many participants stated that every athlete was an individual and that their uniqueness was compromised as a result of the assumptive behavior with their sport. As stated in the chart, a male lacrosse player said that he does not identify with the stereotype that is commonly associated with his sport. It's just simply the sport that he plays. When athletes described their thought process for labeling sports by gender, their responses centered around representation rather than physical characteristics. So athletes would label a sport more feminine when a female athlete was excelling at a higher rate than the male athlete, and this was also true for masculine sports as well. For example, one participant said that he believed soccer was just a little bit more feminine right now, because of the success that he's seen throughout our school and through the media. And his use of right now is crucial in understanding how gender stereotypes may be changing. Representation through media was also a common response, as one male athlete stated that you probably wouldn't see a male volleyball team on ESPN. When asked what sports they would be interested in, regardless of experience, a significant number of athletes showed interest in gender-neutral sports and non-traditional sports for the reasons of interest and enjoyment. The use of humor as a way to police gender among peers was a common theme among participants as well. Athletes would say that they would make fun of their friends for doing certain sports, but at the end of the day, everyone was just joking. A female athlete actually made a comment towards this and said that males partake in sport versus sport rivalry more than women do, and that is just different for guys. This may be attributed to the more rigid social boundaries that surround male athletics. Sports that lacked contact and where males were the minority among females received more comments about a homosexual orientation. In reference to how males are critical of stereotypes, previous research states that stereotypes may hinder the student-college athlete relationship. Many of the athletes in this study reported feeling annoyed or frustrated at how stereotypes portrayed them. One participant said that baseball players are actually really nice guys, but nobody gives them a chance because of the negative stigma usually associated that baseball players are a little bit more cocky. Sports that lacked contact and where males were the minority among females received more comments about their sexual orientation, supporting previous literature revolving the willingness to express affection between peers. Male athletes said that there was a difference in contact between sports such as football and sports as wrestling, and the type of contact acceptable had to do with the physical nature and whether the sport was deemed feminine. Many athletes who were associated with a feminine sport, such as soccer players, referred to being called grass fairies growing up, and men who participated in non-contact sports were often considered soft. So all in all, participants were very critical of how they were perceiving and internalizing gender norms, but were also still party to gender policing. This suggests that the individual athlete is embedded in a structure without fault, but is making a conscious decision to resist the stereotypes within them. One factor that I think could have affected my study was the environment of the school. Many athletes only referred to sports that were present at the college, and then they would also refer to sports such as cheerleading and dance as not even sports at all. So further research uncovering what sports are considered legitimate competition would be interesting. Athletes also talked about how stereotypes disappeared with age, suggesting a longitudinal study to be done about adolescents' attitudes towards stereotypes based on participation when young versus old. Just to wrap things up, I want to finish by thanking all of you for allowing me this opportunity. If you'd like any more questions about my study or about the sources that I used, you can email me at this address. But other than that, thank you.
Thank you.